Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Keeping Up with Kean. I'm your host for today, Thais Recio, and before we get into it, today I just want to take the time to reflect a little bit on the college experience, especially as we are just a few weeks away from National College Commitment Day, which is coming up very quickly on May 1st. So far on our show, we have learned about what goes on behind the scenes of enrollment events like open house, scholarship brunches, and more. We have also had the opportunity to talk with some of Kean admissions counselors from both undergraduate admissions and transfer admissions, and got to hear directly from them not only the process of being admitted, but also what they are looking to see from prospective students. Our show has also welcomed multiple Kean students in various stages of their education, and we even got to hear from the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts. In the past few weeks, we have been able to learn a lot about Kean, and today will be no different. For today's episode, we are going to take a closer look at some of the admission staff who work year-round to assist, welcome, and tour all of our university prospective students and special guests. More specifically, we are going to hear from a student that just joined the Student Ambassador team this semester and hear what their experiences have been so far while taking on the job on campus. Before we meet the student ambassador, we are going to talk with not only an alumni of Kean, but the Associate Director of Student Services that oversees the student ambassadors. Stay tuned to get into it and meet our first guest after these brief messages.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid
Knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Welcome back, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce you all to the Associate Director of Student Services, Erica Robinson. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Of course, always. All right, so before we get into the questions, can you just please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a proud alumni, class of 2008. I currently hold the role as Associate Director of Student Services here in admissions at Kean University.
So you had mentioned before that you are an alumni of Kean. So as someone who was a student here and transitioned into working for the university, what would you say made Kean stand out for you?
Well, I didn't start my career here in higher education. When I graduated from Kean University, I went off to work for a private university for about 13 years. But when I was looking for opportunities to grow and to expand in my professional world, why not come back home? I had a great experience here as a student. This university offers so many resources to our students, and I was super excited to have the opportunity to come back to work here.
Awesome. Now, the first thing I want to ask is about your position within the department. What is your primary role?
So my role is, I like to say, I'm the face of the university. I am the first person that you see when you walk into admissions, but I support all of admissions. I support freshman, transfer, and graduate admissions. But I love to say the fun part about my job is I actually get to oversee 30 student ambassadors.
Wow. And what would you say led you into your current position?
So I've been doing admissions for about 15 years, and when I came back to Kean University, I came back as an online admissions counselor, and I did that for about a year. But one thing I missed was actually being student-faced. Working online, you just get to speak with people via phone and email, but to actually work with students again, I miss that aspect.
You one-on-one person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I saw this position open, I knew this was for me. I wanted to be student-faced, and I also wanted to help prospective students get into the university.
Got it. Now, Erica, for our viewers that are interested in working on campus, what is the process of becoming a student ambassador for the Office of Admissions?
One, you have to have good academic standing. You have to complete at least one semester here. And with you completing that semester, I look for you to be involved somehow, some way. If it's a club or interest, you just have to be involved because you have to be able to speak about your experience. And you have to want to help prospective students. And I think if you have those three, you'll have the opportunity to be a student ambassador here.
Of course. And what do you look for when selecting students for the position?
Again, good academic standing, being involved here on campus, and wanting to grow professionally. This is an opportunity not only for you to be a student and to share your experience, but it's also an opportunity for you to grow in the professional level. I look for those qualities when I look for student ambassadors.
Wonderful. And I just might have to put in my own application. Now, how do you create and maintain a positive work environment for both yourself and your team of student ambassadors?
So it could be hard sometimes when you have 30 student ambassadors with different personalities. But one thing I take pride in, and I've learned from my mentor prior to me becoming in management, is you never ask someone to do something that you wouldn't do. So I love to be one-on-one involved with them, helping them. I answer calls with them. I answer emails with them. I want to make sure that whatever they're doing, I help assist to help them grow. Also, I have an open door policy, so my student ambassadors know they can come in my office, they can talk to me about anything. Although this is a job here on campus, I like to look at it as a mentorship too. So we do have the opportunity to sit and talk about things you just may be going through as a student or outside of here. So I definitely take pride of having both of those outlets for my student ambassadors.
Love the open door policy. These are just some great practices. So what is a lesson that you have learned in your life that you wish you had known while you were in college? Why do you wish you knew it sooner?
I wish I would have asked more questions when I was in college and used the resources around me. When I was in school, I had some personal issues at home, so I didn't take the opportunity to use any resources or to ask many questions. But as I've grown as a professional, now no question is a dumb question. Or to use your resources, your outlets, right? My managers are amazing people. They have an open door policy for me. So I wish if I would have known that a little earlier, it would have helped me grow a little faster in my professional career.
Yeah. And I think that's definitely something important to have learned. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And now before we wrap up, I just have one more question for you. So for a lot of our students today, finding the path to take in regards to their higher education can be difficult, especially today post-pandemic. When so much has changed, what advice can you give to our viewers in regards to knowing if a school and job is a good fit for them?
I'll definitely say make sure you visit the school to make sure it's a home for you. You have to understand what you're looking for, what you want to do. A lot of times people are forced to go to college by family members. And, I'm a believer in education, but I believe higher education is not for everyone. So you just have to find your niche. I think if you find your niche, you find the place where you're comfortable at, I think it will help you transition from whatever you're coming from, the workforce or from being in high school, to transition to education. So just kind of figure out what your needs and your wants are, and then the next steps will definitely follow.
Yeah. Now, Erica, we appreciate you so much for making the time to come in, and I've loved getting to sit down and hear from you today, so thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And coming up next, we are going to meet one of Erica's newest hires and hear a bit about how she has adjusted into her new position as a student ambassador. Stick around for Kean University's crew on these brief messages. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid
Knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
We're helping our classmates.
Thank you. Aquí ayudamos a quienes les gusta comer postres ricos.
I'm helping my customers.
Sim, muito obrigado. Tchauzinho. Eu estou a fazer isto para ajudar a minha família, comunidade e amigos.
Hi, my name is Marconi Gathers, the Health Director for the Township of Kean. Getting vaccinated is the best way to ensure that we continue to help others in our community. COVID-19 vaccines are safe, effective, and free. So please continue to help your community by getting vaccinated at one of our upcoming vaccination clinics. Remember, together we can help our community.
What are you doing in there?
What's that? I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back to Keeping Up with Kean. Again, my name is Thais Recio, and I'm going to be hosting our next segment where we will get to hear and take a little sneak peek behind the scenes of what it's like to be a student ambassador. Thank you so much for joining us today, and can you please introduce yourself and tell us what's your major?
So hi, my name is Rebecca. I am a junior transfer here, and my major is communications.
Perfect, and lovely to meet you, Rebecca. So have you started your role as a student ambassador this semester? Is this your first job on campus?
This is actually not my first job here on campus. My first job was last year at Kean Stage, and then I wanted to change things up a bit, and I applied as an ambassador.
Perfect. And how did you find out about this position, and what made you want to apply for this job? I'm sorry.
It's all good. So I actually heard from a classmate of mine when I was sitting down in one of my communications classes. She was just talking about her time there and how much she enjoyed it, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, I've seen them in the open house, and they look like they had so much fun. So I was like, maybe. And then towards the end of the semester, I was like, I should take the chance. So then I did, and fortunately, she actually became my mentor when I took the job, and it was really fun.
Yeah. And what do you each feel is the benefit for students working on campus?
I think it's definitely the flexible schedule. That's one thing that I totally root for, especially as a full-time student. It's something that I feel passionate in, especially when I want to have both a social life and maintain my own personal time for homework and studying and mental health.
And what has the training process been like for you?
It was actually really great. So in the beginning of the first month, we were all the group of the newbies were set up, that's what they call us. They were set up and paired with mentors, and every week we would have a little meeting with our mentor, and they would teach us how to do tours, how to do calls, emails, queue lists, all of that. And I think that it was something that really helped me build not only my confidence in the role, but then also be able to implement in other parts of my school life as well.
No, that's really cool. Is there a lot of support for new hires, and what would you say each is your favorite part of working in so far?
Absolutely. So like I mentioned before, we have mentors that were previously new people coming in, and they taught us how they work their way around the office, and not only around the office, but around the university. University. And then we also have like my boss,
Yeah.
previously. She's very kind, and she always has her office door open for us to talk to, and as well as all the other advisors and counselors there as well.
We heard about her open door policy. Is there a lot of new support for new hires? What is your favorite part of working in the admissions office so far?
Absolutely. So we're actually looking to hire new students coming in, and I would like to say that coming in, it was really open. Everyone was so friendly. We encourage people from all different types of backgrounds, bilingual, ASL, definitely.
Yeah. And now, Rebecca, we have learned and heard a lot about what goes on for our student ambassador role. How do you maintain a balance between being a student and ambassador and now your personal life?
So that part I'm still trying to master. It's really difficult. But usually I just try and keep in communication with everyone I'm with, whether it's my professors, my boss, or even with my family and my friends. If I'm feeling like I need help, I'm not afraid to go and ask for help.
Yeah. Do you keep like a planner?
I do. I have one on my phone and on paper. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured. And mental health is also very important, and it's having good balance between all aspects of your life is crucial to our success as students and, honestly, overall happiness. What would you say is the most challenging aspect of your job?
I think for me, it would be the confidence. When I first entered the job, I was extremely nervous for doing tours, especially speaking in front of a huge crowd. When I was younger, I used to be terrified of public speaking, but I feel like this job, and especially with the help of my mentor, she really helped me step out of my shell and really grow my confidence.
Yeah. And what do you feel makes Kean stand out as an employer?
I would definitely say the kindness that everyone offers, as well as the flexibility. It's really just so wonderful.
Yeah. And what is something you have learned about Kean while taking on this new position?
I would like to say always taking a chance. I don't really want to hold back and like miss anything. I don't know if it's a FOMO or anything like that, but if there's an opportunity, just take it.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely have FOMO.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you feel all prospective students should know about Kean?
Well, first off, there's a gym and there's actually a pool on campus. I didn't know that before, but I would say check out anything in the university on campus. You never know what you're gonna find.
Yeah. And how did you know that Kean is the right school for you?
One was financially. I am a self-paying student, not self-paying, but I pay for college myself, and the affordability was something that I really liked about it, as well as being a commuter student. It was 15 minutes away from Linden, so it was pretty easy to decide.
Self-supporting. So my very last question is, if you had to share a piece of life advice that you've learned while being in college, what would it be?
I would like to say, don't be afraid of the word no, and rejection is redirection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And asking a lot of questions.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Words of wisdom. Thank you so much for sharing them. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you for coming on today and sharing what it's been like to take your new and exciting role. To everyone tuning in today, thank you so much for watching and supporting our show. We hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you next time on Keeping Up with Kean.